But the vast majority of immigrants are not criminals. They pay taxes and are good neighbors. They are faithful members of our churches and mosques, synagogues, wadara, and temples.
That was the Episcopal Bishop of Washington yesterday at the National Cathedral talking directly to the president, directly, eye to eye, about compassion, humility, kindness, honesty, honoring the inherent dignity of every person, talking to him about respect, about mercy. This is not his usual bailiwick.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Ibrahim. Today is January 24th, 2025. Today na January 24, 2025. Today I talk to the imams and the pastor them. You know, they go along that lines. I got play phone again. I don't know if some of you already follow me on Facebook, YouTube. You know, even on WhatsApp. I mean, I don't share a video where the Reverend when they do Trump in inauguration as part of the process. They go to church. The Reverend talked to Trump directly face to face for challenge him on some of the issues and ask for compassion for people. We especially like immigrants, how Trump planned for deal with immigrants, you know, and the lady they tell them, the pastor, the Reverend of the Episcopal Church, now Washington DC, they tell Trump to him face, not to be in corner, not to hide, not to secret, not to permitting, face to face. In family, the old man they watch. When I see that video, they share with you now. So I want to let that be the preamble. So if you do on WhatsApp, you must not see that video I do recently, where they tell the religious leaders then Sierra Leone, say shame on all of them. Except for one grain why they pull Sheikh Farouk. You not go that far, you not go far like how this woman go, but they try. Sheikh Farouk are the only person why they pull. But when it comes to what's happening today in Sierra Leone, we don't know what they talk about. The McKinney massacre, Padebaro prisons massacre, Tonko Limba, Losar, Man 91, the corruption of the country, the violation of human rights there. All of these of human rights and the rights of women as well. When I see, videos and woman, prostitution is on the rise. All the social issues them, where they affect the lives of our people. Imams and pastors in that country, they are silent. So therefore, now I call on every Sierra Leonean, until we get a peaceful transition of power, every Sierra Leonean, you don't know why they talk this here, I don't want to go aside, but at least the church them and the mosque them when I begin starve them. I know they say no go church and they say no go mosque. It is your right, go and go fellowship and worship. But when I stop forgiving them money, when I stop forgiving them money, let imams and pastors across the country suffer like I'm not they suffer for fending money there. Let them suffer like I'm not saying they suffer when I don't get rights to free speech. When they suffer enough, they go come out and go face man abuse. But what I want to do today first, before I even analyze everything and see what I want to say, this same Reverend Mamia, so they interview on a TV after, which I don't share with now, we don't do in service in a church. We talk to Trump and family and they tell them to say, hey, the people amongst me, not so bad people. Let us get some compassion. And see how we do this. You know, let we exercise some restraint. We not hear all that side. And they can't play out the interview. When I interview, I'm back on the TV. We talk. Salon people, this is the civic education. If America democracy is powerful like today, if we can't play go to salon right now, or we can't boat go to salon, we say, look, this boat over go America. Anybody who want come. The one on salon the empty, including the ministers, them, including politicians. They say this boat here, they bring it to America, I can give you paper. Salon the empty. Because they all want America people. What to do? Because America don't protect and preserve the democracy. That the same way we'll serve salon with democracy, we for protect and preserve them. Who then get the responsibility? Now the clergy leaders them, we reverend them, we pastor them. Then self gets an equal responsibility like everybody else for actively protect them people. They are servants for you all. That they don't take up the mantle, say they want for, bring the word of God to Una. And therefore they have to protect Una. They get the responsibility. Not for the go dinner with the president, go eat. No! So every church at the town of Sierra Leoneans now, this is the next phase of the battle. Una no care go no money in a church. Where the pastor look you by the eye or the imam look you by the eye, you self look by the eye. No money, una go worship God. That's it. Not to the business. Una go worship God, but una not give them no penny. And the money that they give them, the life light, then they live good life personal, then they live that sweet host them, and get air conditioner them, then get motoka they way tinted, then they buy gas, then they worry how they buy petrol for the motoka them, while soon as they struggle and suffer, they tell you can't bring 10% of what you make, can't give it the church. But whilst them sit on the with democracy is dying, and you read me brother, before I even play the interview on TV, with brother patriotic citizen, they talk about another bill where they say, can the Yumkelage Anpa? Counter-terrorism bill. We are the terrorists, them we not sabi. But I'm telling you, they say them bill my brother say that 10 to 30 years imprisonment if they charge you with that counter-terrorism bill, you know, then go after your family members them. They say they go seize you property them. I say carry on. Carry on. The one day when they passed the bill, the members of parliament, they all. This is how Albert Magai died in exile. That the same bills them Albert Magai passed back in 1965. This criminal libel law, where they say don't pull the like a today, but they bring the cyber crime bill for charge, you know, with sister. Then charge her with the cyber crime bill, the same cyber crime bill where the Minister of Information at the time, Mohamed Radoswari, where he talk was say incendiary. What's in an incendiary language? Now, language where you go tell, go burn this police station, go kill this person. He said that incendiary language. That lady not talk anything violent other than the fact that he said the president is belebig. He said the president woman don't born picking them for different man them. There is nowhere where they for use any laws against Sierra Leoneans them for go against them. But we see them like today, then get the Cybercrime Act, section 44, 2B. When I go look up, now they say if you cause any person, if you make the person uncomfortable, self, una see the imams and pastors they watch. The act they say if you make the person feel uncomfortable, you know that they alone wave our horn say Marabia big because Marabia feel uncomfortable. So then they charge the lady go court. When they pay attention at Sierra Leone, they get imams and pastors them where they see them, then they watch and see how they happen. Nobody they talk. You go back to the 1991 brutal rebel war, Ali Kaba then justify the war, claiming that they violate their rights to free speech. Then they give massive state of corruption. You know, no rights to protest. The expensive goods them, services that the country. Now so them complain. They say we go bring a whole rebel war. They can't bring a kind of that country there. But then God don't take the Salon people for granted. Then he repeats the same errors. When they repeat what Shaka Stevie come and enjoy. Now in the episode they Katrina Sierra Leone. This can the Yumkela. We come deceive Sierra Leoneans them. They can we for say come fight for democracy. They take peace then throw up here in Mamana SLPP party office. When they come back, they go attack go to the village. They say Papa don't accept. They don't go join SLPP. Now they go for an effect for past laws. According to African Express, and we will brother political, patriotic citizen shed light on. They say in the past counter-terrorism act, the terrorists them. All they're doing is trying to close the space for free speech. They see section 44 2B. Now they use something like today for charge our hunt. They say make man be uncomfortable. It bring enmity because tell us saying belly big. Man don't become uncomfortable for that day. It make the person not feel good. Now we can't tell no wrong yet. When you talk now, you participate in the democracy. You tell us saying belly big. When then why who's can cost them? They cost people them. Go to them forum them. Now we read about body make incendiary message. Justin Johnny they call say they go after this, they go after that. All kind message right from the SLPP. When a violence. Imams and pastors them they Syria country they una continue for go give them money, una continue for go make una pay tithes to them. Una stop. That is the next phase of the fight. We're going to start holding the people accountable. The aiders and abettors. The one way to make it easy for Marabio, civil society organizations them. You know, the imams and pastors them. All of these people are responsible for protect, the citizens of that nation. Former ministers them, whether at the APC and both the SLPP, the chief them across the country. These are the people we're supposed to hold and preserve and protect democracy. Hold the powers that be to account. But they're all delicate today. All man don't set mouth. Or everybody is silent. Journalists them, we see they even go kill a journalist. Under that kind of way when they kill a journalist there. You don't see the journalists themselves in the country. Take up a protest for run across that country there. Take interviews across the world. The journalists in Sierra Leone, they know what's in killer. They know the circumstances where that guy they die. But you know they hear nothing. You know they hear imams, you know they hear pastors, You know, nobody come out for condemn such a brutal act against the journalist because they want to close the space. When I don't say this large, then chairperson, they go get 250 million recently. So they don't shut them down. Nobody know they talk. Then the imams, they can say, I can play this interview because this is the civic education we're talking about. So now go yeri because when they talk, because we want to talk. Some of we don't can America now, we don't can see. What we can see now, responsibility for make sure so we open up on our eyes in Sierra Leone. When I stop forgetting imams and pastors of our money, when it comes to it, we stop for go back there in church and mosque them. Let church and mosque them be empty. God not a frown by you say because you don't go church now in that all. But no, these people have to perform their responsibilities. They have to perform their responsibilities. If they fail, we say fulfill them. We don't continue to protect them. But for now, they tell us say when I go church, but not give them no collection, not give them no tithes, not give them no offering. Both mosques and church. The only imam when I go to a mosque is Sheikh Farouk Unagia. In the sky. But moving forward, nobody, no imam, no pastor, no collection. Let them begin pockets begin dry. When the pockets begin dry, then go engage. Then go left for go to the president with dinner. They go come together. They go speak up. Right now, we wait for a peaceful transition of power to Dr. Samora Kamara. We win the elections. And not one day you read them big pastor with big names that I can't today talk about the elections publicly. No, they're quiet. Because when they go there Sunday, when I go dance, when I give them contributions, they make millions and millions of dollars every year from a collection. Then picking them overseas, then a good schools them, then universities across the world. Una picking and they suffer. Now they suffer, they kind of they suffer. So team for it's not difficult, everything is expensive. Then they involve because una not teach them lesson yet. Let church them be empty in that country. Imams, the mosque, them be empty. Una go see what they talk. Una go see when they go wake up. Then go stand up against dictatorship. Then go stand up against Madabio. But for now, for as long as you continue for go to church, go to mosque, the same problems continue. All kind of laws they want for pass. Let them pass the laws them. The law, this counter-terrorism law. If they pass some in that country, that same law they will take for charge them because some law they will pass. So God and this they will go after you with that same law they back. Because you know what they do? Because even in the constitution, it is clear, say members of parliament for pass laws they way for improve the lives of the people. It is their responsibility to pass laws for make the lives of the people better. Not for pass laws way for destroy the peace and sanctity of the people. So if that law they pass them, will they use the same law back against them? One day power will change. One day power will shift. One day the right person will get power in that country. Day. Una always be involved in that law day. We arrest you all, we prosecute you all, and charge you with the same penalties where the law prescribes. If the maximum of 30 years, una they go jail for 30 years. Me, I don't worry you can't share where they happen in a country. Man, we can't talk no more. Let we put two people on standby. If they want them pass them, if they want to not pass them. When they pass that law, I want the people and bear in mind. Say the day shall come. Where that same law day, like I bet Albert Magai, where Sheikh Stevens can enjoy the one-party state system. Now, so the same law get for bet they all. They always involve every member of parliament. Everybody we right, we put hand and pen and legislate for that law day. Anybody we na proponent of the law, anybody we support the law, anybody wanna take notes, that they wanna pay attention to. Only when they support this crime, this counter terrorism bill, where they say can they allow and pass. They all from the president all the way down to parliament. Where they say can they is instrumental in passing it. Useless guy, I don't see. But then guys there in Sierra Leone, know this kind of thing go happen. Man will deceive millions of people in that nation. It's still able for pass free up and down. You know, there's something they were not ever came for talk. But I tell you from Usten can the sell. The day when they announced Austin Demby as Minister of Health, and the day I know say Kande Yumkela don't sell. Because Austin Demby and Kande Yumkela na body. Why say body na best of friends. The Minister of Health, Austin Demby. Whether they do anything productive in that country, where they support the say safe motherhood or they call abortion bill. And they behind the Ministry of Health that they try for support and for passer. Now the day I know say kind of you cannot sell from that 10 day. And I say, oh, but you don't have to make a decision based off of things like those. But I know it was a very heavy compromise. It was one of those things where give me what I want. So the day where I see they announce Austin Demby as Minister of Health, now I know say can the Yumke don't sell and they don't give up in power to the SLPP. But that is not the issue now for me. They can all go to hell and rot in hell. That is their business. But what I tell nobody, the focus is this. They want for pass that law, counter-terrorism, they didn't pass it. No matter what they do, when they pass that law, they use the same laws within the parliaments where give parliament the responsibility for make laws where for improve the lives of the people. And then they go ahead for they make laws them where they go detrimental to the life of the people. Just like our hunt. Where they don't go make the section 44 to be as stupid as the law is. When I go read that. Very stupid law. When you look, you listen to the law, within the law so petty, even like when you deal with petulant speaking them. If you make person uncomfortable, safe na crime now, like the country. Not to closure of the free speech that one day, not to destruction of democracy that day. They just don't want to let you say anything anymore. When these people are the same people who don't do all kinds of terrible things against people. So if you tell man abuse yourself a thief, well, catch a thief, double dip in potential money laundering. Able, then they forge receipts. What you tell them, if man you feel uncomfortable, the judiciary they come after you, the judges them they take the case up. You can you imagine that? The prosecutor they come after you because you don't tell the president say a thief, or you don't tell the minister say a thief. Now the minister don't feel uncomfortable. And they go lay complaint to the judiciary. The judiciary they arrest the police they arrest you. They go lock you up because you don't make them feel uncomfortable. What you tell them say you a thief. This is Sierra Leone for we. And they break this number for una. I don't understand some people them. What you na sit on pan? What you na sit on pan? And they do message every day again. Working now they one tier no more mango come in them can talk to una. When it comes to civic education, don't understand what's happening in that country today. And because the next audio I got for come make now for talk about moving forward, what's going to happen? They can't say again, we are patiently waiting for the peaceful transition of power to Dr. Samora Kamara. I hear an audio when they talk about the APC, the convention, and next year they go pick flag bearer and this and that. Una all I want to remind you, when I know say Dr. Samora Kamara, we don't make it very clear for say, they talk about 2028. And then discuss 2028. We are discussing 2023 elections with TIF. We will protect democracy to the last, so the latter, and we will wait for the transition of power right now. But then I know they go inside and side. Today, my message is focused on imams and pastors. When I look and listen to this interview of this reverend, all right? Now we'll listen and then I will try for come in as much as I could. Can some of now it go difficult for them to understand the English. But this is how imams and pastors for protect democracy. If they don't protect democracy, una not go give them money. Let church them mosque them begin empty. Sunday come then see 2-3 people then them picking and they go there. Una go see where they go change their ways. But if una continue for go to the church and mosque there, then why una go give them money? They will not stand up for una for protect democracy for generations here unborn. Now don't listen to this interview.
They may not be citizens or have the proper documentation, but the vast majority of immigrants are not criminals. They pay taxes and are good neighbors. They are faithful members of our churches and mosques, synagogues, wadara, and temples. I ask you to have mercy, Mr. President, on those in our communities whose children fear that their parents will be taken away.
That was the Episcopal Bishop of Washington yesterday at the National Cathedral talking directly to the president, directly, eye to eye, about compassion, humility, kindness, honesty, honoring the inherent dignity of every person, talking to him about respect, about mercy. This is not his usual bailiwick. It is hers, though. Joining us now is the Right Reverend Marianne Edgar Buddy. She's the Episcopal Bishop of Washington, D.C. Bishop Buddy, I really appreciate you making the time. I know you have a lot of options where to be, and I appreciate you being here.
It's great to be here. Thank you.
What made you decide to make that appeal the way you did, to ask him for mercy in that way?
Well, as you summarized so well, as I was thinking about at the end, toward the end of my preparation, the pillars of unity, it struck me that I was missing one, and that last one, was mercy. To have mercy and compassion. And rather than state it in sweeping terms, I thought I would acknowledge to the president, that he had come to the highest office of the land, that he had millions of people had entrusted him with this power. And I wanted to make, as you heard, a plea, a request that he broaden his characterization of the people that are frightened now and are at risk of losing everything. And I thought that that would be the more respectful way to say it, and also to appeal to not only the president, but to all who might be listening, to appeal to what we know to be true about our immigrant neighbors, who they are, the kind of people that we're blessed to be among, and to remember them in our understanding of what it means to be America.
Your opportunity in that moment to minister directly to the president is a very unique moment. I know that you've been the bishop in Washington for a long time, and you were there for his first inaugural as well. But I wanted to ask about the broader question of the role of the church right now in moral leadership in this moment. We have seen the Catholic Church, the Episcopal Church, elements of the Lutheran Church, other congregations all over the country, very diverse types of churches, offer themselves, for example, as sanctuaries for people who are facing deportation. What do you see as the role of the church in helping lead the public and helping us understand what our moral responsibilities are right now?
Right. That's a great question. I would say the first and primary role that we have is by example. To take the teachings of our faith, to welcome the stranger, to love as we've been loved, to be compassionate, and to live that out in real terms with real people in our communities. So that's foundational. And then, when given the opportunity to speak and to be at times a conscience, at other times a consolation, to be present, ministering or pastoring the common good. And so it takes many forms. It depends on the moment. We're in a particularly harsh moment now when it comes to conversations around immigrant populations in our midst. And so that was the reason for the tone I took now. But it could have been a very different tone in a different context, depending on how compassion needs to be manifest in a given time.
Even before we had the sort of, you wouldn't use these terms, but I'll use it, sort of nasty reaction from the president in the overnight hours, in which he demanded an apology from you and insulted you in personal terms. Even before we got that reaction from him, a lot of people were describing what you did as brave. And I wanted to get your reaction to that. I mean, as a high-ranking church leader who's been doing this job for a long time, I imagine that speaking in public isn't difficult to you, and speaking on difficult truths isn't difficult for you. But what do you make of the fact that I think a lot of people are feeling, are seeing in you a form of courage that they hope they would have themselves?
Well, just a slight correction. I'm afraid every time I step into a pulpit, right? That really never goes away. Large or small, it doesn't matter. It's a huge responsibility, tremendous vocation, and how many people get that amount of time and uninterrupted speech, right? So it's a really big deal, and I take it very seriously every time. So yeah, I was nervous, I was scared. I think perhaps the reason why it had the effect that it did is because for a while now, there has been very little public, there hasn't been much of a narrative outside of the narrative that the president has been describing, right? People have gone quiet or they've been ignored. And so this was a moment, and I had no idea who was paying attention. I mean, the inauguration was the day before. There weren't that many people in the cathedral. It wasn't crowded. It was a group of people who had gathered at his invitation.
but it wasn't something that was in the in public discourse. And so I think in some ways that was perhaps the reason why it had the effect that it did. It is also an audacious thing to address anyone directly in from the pulpit. I typically do that for weddings, when you talk to a couple. Do you know what I mean? For at funerals, you talk to the family you're seeking to console. This was a service of prayer for unity for the country, but it was on the occasion of the inauguration of a president. And if you go back to other sermons in those moments, there's almost always a word to the president. So it wasn't unusual in that way. But in the particular moment we're in, it filled a space that hadn't been occupied for a while.
Yeah, Peter, so we can
Stephen, is that your new book?
Salon people, on a listen, what you talk about there? This is a reverend, and I need to talk so. He occupied that space where it don't take a long time, people don't occupy. He talked to the president directly. Now in face. But no, we have pastor imam there. Now for collect money on our nine and sabi. We not continue the interview. No, listen. Now finish them. I don't want to interrupt them. I'm sorry to my brothers and sisters there. We're not going to understand the English, but I'm not saying we're not intelligent people. We're not go break. We're not go listen. We're not listen. Continue for listen.
Bishop Betty, I'd like to just ask you one last question, and sure. I'll give you from the outset an opportunity to not answer this if you don't want to, because it's perhaps not fair of me. Right. But we did get that nasty gram from the president in the middle of the night, in which he did insult you and demand an apology. Yeah. And I know I've seen remarks that you made today that you've received a lot of not just invective, but threats, including death threats over the course of today since that happened. And I would just ask if you wanted to respond either to the president or to the people who have wished you ill in response to this.
Well, I've had people wish me dead. I'm not sure they've threatened to kill me, but they seem to be pleased if I met my eternal destiny sooner rather than later. And I would simply say I was trying actually to encourage a different kind of conversation, that you can certainly disagree with me, you can disagree what I've said or did, but could we as Americans and fellow children of God speak to one another with respect? I would offer the same to you. I would listen to your views and I would honor them, but we don't have to go to the highest extremes of contempt when we are in a position of disagreement. And I think if we could get that back as a country, we would go a long way in being able to work together to address the many problems that we face.
Well, at its best, no matter your religious faith or lack thereof, the ministry is both teaching and leading. Yeah. And that, I think, is why you're having such a strong reaction from so many Americans to what you did yesterday. And I am sorry for the vitriol and the negative reaction that you've had from some quarters, but I hope you know that there's a lot on the other side of that as well.
Thank you Reverend so much.
Marianne Budde, Bishop of the Episcopal Diocese of Washington, D.C. It's an honor to have you here. Come back anytime.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right. Sierra Leoneans, that's it right there. Moral leadership. Like how they talk again, all them bills they already want for pass, all them laws they are, counter-terrorism law, safe motherhood abortion bill, cyber crime laws, all of the laws that they've been passing. Leaders then get a responsibility, clergies then get a responsibility, a moral responsibility for stepping at a time like this, for intercede. But why need one? That because they know say only the people who don't get information on need for make informed decisions. Now I make we can guide una now. Not to by force for go church, not to by force for give them collections. Therefore, I implore una all. Una don't hear we reference American democracy really thrive for over 230 plus years. Sierra Leone don't get independence over 60 years now. Nothing not change. You know what you do? Now because the leaders them, the religious leaders them, clergy members them, civil society activists, journalists, all the one them will get a responsibility. Broken parliament, especially the last 6 years, last 5 years, because this parliament really so they are illegal, so they count them. The parliament from 2018 to 2023 was a legally constituted parliament. Even though we see where they removed 10 members of parliament from the APC party. Religious leaders have been sitting down in that country. They idle by, not doing anything to preserve and protect the democracy. But yet, una the people them, when they take una hard hand money, una don't sweat, una suffer for, una they go give them una money them. Then they live in affluence. Then they live good life. Go look them past, una pastor all, una go look their house where they live. Una imams them, una go look where they live. And it's about a small village imam them. But they want their way big in a town. Una go watch who side they live. Una go look their family structure. Una go look them picking there. But una they suffer, una they struggle. They wait for stand up for una with moral leadership. They don't say go cost the president, the president. But talk it through. From when they kill people in McKinney. How much religious leaders were there ever talk about that? None. McKinney massacre, none. Auditor General reports they come out. None. About then get a responsibility. Not for kind of more you open the Bible no more. The Bible, when you look at the teachings of the Bible, you relate it to life. Everyday happenings. What did they happen every day? You don't relate it to life. If you want to talk about corruption, it's there. Zachariah. Where they be a tax collector. Remember that short man of the Bible when Jesus said us for say, Zachariah, come down because he told Jesus they can't pass. Because he's a tax collector, he no say they commit sin. And he shot. So go up the sycamore tree. He want to see where Jesus they pass. Jesus see him, he says, Zachariah, come down from the sycamore tree. And he panic, that's why they're scared because you know say he corrupt. Some people allow we hold religious leaders into account. With democracy, if Marabio Puel Salon, not so by himself. I always want to tell you this. Marabio Puel Salon because they get the help of others. They get the help of the parliament, the help of the religious leaders, them. Because, hey, I share a quote the other day. Now, what's up? And I don't see them by now. There are two types of people when they destroy a country or destroy a nation. Two types of people. You will know, you know they talk. And then the one will know, they run him out. Now the two types of people are the way they destroy a nation. We will know, we not can talk. They don't say talk every day, but you know can shed light on the issues. Because I don't care for everybody do messages every day. I don't like powder. Nah, I have other things. I have to focus. You know. But when I pay attention to these little teachings of the Kuna, let it resonate and live with you. If Marabio destroys Sierra Leone today, now because the religious leaders then keep quiet. Now because the parliament help them for pass the bad laws them. Now when I see the law where them pass, now they don't hold our hand. Where parliament vote for. Now I make this same law, we can use it back against them all. One day we go get the leader. We will get a person where they come. We go make them for use all the laws they have back against them. Let them pass them. Not to forever, they're not going to power forever. If this law and the pass not bet say go bet some picking them. If you not bet some picking them, go bet some grand picking them. Let them pass them. No problem. But religious leaders then get a responsibility. Parliament gets a responsibility. You for pass laws for improve the lives of the people. When I go read that under the formation of parliament. But we get religious leaders in today, we see that country today, that they go against the rights of our people. They want to continue for getting our money. I want for begin see from this Sunday where they come so now, this weekend they begin Sunday. This Sunday when they go church first, when I go church, when I go mosque. Friday today, so man, they don't let you don't go mosque. But Sunday, by this Sunday, when I begin and now where you go to church, no collection. When I go see. When they don't act. I would have gone and so would have pressed the button. The next phase, the church share for begin empty. Must then begin empty. Then go understand, say, una don't get sense. You know, oh pastor, you know, oh imam, no obligation. They say where 2 or 3 are gathered, the presence of the Lord is there. You can then say also with your family, una they pray. You don't need to go to mosque. You don't need to go to church. If they act up as leaders, they take their responsibility. And they come back now, I can tell una say, una go join them. But for now, civic education. Hold everybody accountable. Una the people, the power is in your hands. Now this I want to say, I don't understand. Power is in your hands. Section 5, subsection 2 makes it very clear. B, it says sovereignty belongs to the people. Through this constitution, the government derives its legitimacy, its authority, and its power from the people. Some people have for pass, how for talking to again to una. So dear, una get a responsibility. I don't share with una don't hear from this reverend. We challenge Donald Trump right in front of him. Now they tell us they go threaten and they want like died in this and that. This is the world we live in today. Everybody get rights to free speech. But nobody don't Chris go arrest them. No. You know where the judiciary say they go arrest this reverend because but Sierra Leone, the judiciary, the police, will all be part of the clandestine actors them. We don't destroy with democracy. Salon, it will be clean one day. I believe that. Salon will be clean. All it takes is having the right leadership. And they left this message now no long. When I listen to this, I did dedicate this song again. So everybody, keep doing what you do. All right? Keep doing what you do. All the social media activists, we wait, we on standby for Dr. Samora Kamara. But again, Lord take action now against the one that we for stand up for we, pastors and imams. When I listen to this.
Oh, yeah. If you give a little more than you take, and if you try to fix more than you break, if you're the kind who takes the time to help a stranger in the rain, there's a place for people like you.